guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chanel here, in case you are new. And today I just wanted to talk about a special person that's in my life. Well, even though she's gone, she's still a special person in my life, and that topic would be my grandma. So where should I start? First, I will start by saying that a loss of any kind is very hard, right? And my grandma was a special person, and I mean, she lived to be 94 years old, and she has lived a full and great life, right? And I can take solace in knowing that she died with people who loved her, and she was surrounded by love. I don't know one person who has not met her who does not love her. That goes for my friends, family, like just my family's friends, you know, my ex, his family. Like, there's not one person that hasn't met her that does not love her, because she was that sweet. She was that just amazing person, right? And so when you know that it's coming, like she was of an age, she was 94, I knew it could come at any time, you know what I'm saying? But when it hits you, man, that hits different. I might say that, like, when it hits and when it comes, it's like you can think you do all the preparing in your mind, but when it actually hits you, oh, I got something in my lash, in my eye. Okay, sorry about that, guys. This eye is tripping, and I don't know what's in it, and so hopefully I can get through this video and talking to you guys, because it's like really irritated. And so as soon as this video is over, I'm going to take all this makeup off and try to get whatever is in my eye out of it. And I feel like, no, I guess not. This is just in my eye, just looking stupid. Okay, anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Sorry. Anyways, so yeah, but yeah, I don't know a soul who didn't know her, who didn't love her. And so I guess I take comfort in knowing that she did live a long 94 years, and that, you know, she got to see all my kids born, and she was there for the most important parts of my life. So I take, you know, comfort in knowing that. Let's think. I'm sorry, this whole thing with my eye kind of messed me up and like took me off my focus on what I was like talking about, so I can't really remember like what I was like what I've already went over. But I think I went over she was from, how she met my grandpa. Oh, well, I don't know how they met exactly, I just know they met in California, got married and had 4 children. She had 3 girls, 1 boy, which is so crazy because it's like we're the opposite, right? Because I had 3 boys, 1 girl, and so and that's funny because it's like literally my grandma is literally, we're literally like the same, right? Because literally she had 3 girls, 1 boy. The 2 older girls, she had 2 older girls, and then she had my uncle and then my grandma, right? And I had the 2 older boys, and then I had my daughter and then my son. So that, I meant my uncle and then my auntie. I think I said that. I don't know if I said that, but that's what I meant. So that is so funny. Like, now that I look back over everything, that is so funny. Like how we did this, how we did that. Like, that's funny. But so basically my grandma was a real staple in my life because of the fact that my mom, of course, was young. Well, she wasn't that young, but she was young when she had me, and she was still trying to, you know, get her career up. She was still doing things for her. She was going to school, work, and she was involved in church and things of that nature. So it was like she was there, but she wasn't like there like how my grandma was all the time because she had other obligations. So my grandma, sorry, I got like fur pieces like flying. That's probably what got in my eye that I'm fighting through trying to do this video before I take off all this makeup. It's like right there at the cusp of my, it's like, it literally, the thing literally has to be sitting on my eyeball, the black part. Like, that's how it feels. But anyways, my mom was there, like, she was there, but you know, she was doing her own thing or whatever. So my grandma was mostly there. Like, my grandma would be there when I'm coming home from school. My grandma, when she could drive, she would pick me up from school, take me to go get something to eat, you know, to carry me or whatever. And so, like, that's who I like grew up knowing. So that is just like my second mom. Like, so to me, I know it just, I'm like the oldest grandchild out of everybody, right? And so, like, I lived with my grandma. I grew up with her. Like, she disciplined me. She whipped me. She put me on punishment. Like, my grandma was like a mom to me. And so, I know that it was my grandma, but I felt like I was losing a mom in that sense, you know? So it just literally it literally hurts because I do not know life without her, and that's what hurts. Every step of the way that I can remember, anything I ever needed, any problem I was going through, my grandma was there every step of the way. And now I'm doing life without her. And that is pretty sad, if I may say so myself. Sorry, y'all. I'm really a big baby. Clearly I'm a big baby. So sorry that I am crying and I clearly can't get through this video without crying. I am sorry about that, but you know, yeah, it's just like, when I think about it, it really makes me sad. And so I'm trying to get through this without crying, but it's definitely hard. So am I dealing with grief or dealing with the loss of my grandma? I'm talking about it. That's how I'm dealing with it. I'm talking about it. I'm being open about how I'm feeling. And I don't be afraid to cry when I feel like I want to cry about it. When I want to cry about it, I will cry about it. I don't hold it back and tell myself, oh, suck it up. No, I will cry when I feel like it's needed. I feel like crying is healing, right? And I'm not crying because she's gone. I'm crying because I miss her so much. I miss her so much. What the tears come from, because I know that here she was suffering, she was in pain every day, and so, you know, her stomach was bothering her every day, and, you know, joints and just things that happen when you get older. So I take peace in remembering and knowing that she is no longer in pain, right? But I do miss her. I wish I would have saved some voice recordings, but I don't have any voicemails, and I think it's because I got a new phone, and like when I transferred over the number, some of the messages weren't still on my phone. But sometimes I wish I would have saved like a message so I can hear her say, Chanel, call me when you get this. This is your grandma. So I could just hear her voice, like, you know, one more time. And my grandma was such a funny person too. And it's not like she would ever try to be funny. It's just that she just was funny by nature. Like the stuff that she said would have you cracking up. Like I just remember talking with her and we would just be laughing, and she'd be so serious about what she'd be saying, but it'd be funny. Oh my god. And I think that's what I'm gonna miss most, is just talking and laughing with her. My grandma, she would always make sure that someone was eating. She always wanted to make sure I was eating, especially when I was breastfeeding. She would give me insurance, like, drink this, you have to drink this so he can have strong bones and and she would always, like, just, you know, she just was so sweet. If I needed anything, if I needed money or anything, she would always, like, be there for me. Like, I just don't know one time that she didn't, like, if she really didn't have it, then she, you know, she didn't have it. But most of the time she always had it. She always gave it to me, and she just always helped me out. And she just really was a sweet lady. Two memories that will always be in my head, that I will always cherish and hold dear, is that when I was younger, like maybe like not middle school, but like maybe elementary, my grandma used to do my hair. She used to do my hair in the kitchen, and every time she would do my hair, it seemed to be Michael Jackson would come on. And I don't know if maybe I'm telling my age, but back in the day, Michael Jackson marathons used to come on faithfully, okay? And you can see all the videos he ever had. Like, they will play him from start to beginning, from Smooth Criminal to what's the one where wrote Speed Demon. I don't know what I was gonna Road Runner. Anyway, Speed Demon. Like from all of those videos, you can see every video they will play it from start to finish, start to finish, start to finish. And we would sit there and watch all the videos while she would do my hair, and that would be our Saturday. And I really love those times. Like, then I think about it, like, that was like, I enjoyed that. I didn't even go outside. I didn't do none of that. And like back when we were growing up, like, outside was important. Ain't nobody was in the house like that. But I would stay in the house that Saturday, get my hair done, and watch Michael Jackson with my grandma. The second one was that our movie. This is our favorite movie. We will watch this faithfully and love it and just like watch it laugh. Was Beverly Hills Cop. That was our favorite movie, and we would literally watch it every time it came on. I think that we watched it so much that my mom bought my grandma the cassette tape. Yep, we had that. Sorry, you about to leave? Sorry, my son came in here. So, but yeah, I think I was talking about Beverly Hills Cop, whatever. So anyways, yeah, that was our favorite movies, and those two memories were like forever. Like, if I don't remember nothing else about my grandma, them two I would definitely remember and hold and cherish deep to my heart. One of my fears is that Carson will never know. Carson will never know how great his great grandma was. I don't even know if he will remember her. He's so young. Like, and like during his growing up, I just don't know if he would remember who or what she was, or remember like the things that she did. I don't know. Let's see. I want to ask you a question. What? Come here. Alright, y'all. This is my youngest baby. Why are you looking like that?
Say the golden. Show me in the camera.
Yes, you look cute. Anyways, Carson, question. Do you remember Grand? Who was she? Who was Grand?
What grandma?
Which grandma?
The one with the stick walking with?
Yes. What do you remember about Grand?
Going to the doctors.
Going to the doctors? That's what you remember about Grand? And where else? What else do you remember?
I don't know.
You don't know? When you seen Grand, what happened when you see her all the time? You don't know?
I don't know, but I think I miss her.
You think you miss her? I think I miss her too.
Give me one of these.
Give me one of these. Boy, okay, bye.
Bye.
Close the door. Thank you. Kids are crazy. Well, I'm glad he knew who she was, the lady that came. I'm glad that he like remembers, you know, like I'm glad that he remembers like who, you know, who she was, at least, you know. Even if he remembers her at the Lady of the Cane and the doctors. I'm done. But I think that's my fear, like, you know, just him not knowing, you know, how sweet, how kind she was, and how much she loved him. And so those things, like, yeah, I'm gonna just have to show him. The rest of my kids are grown. They know how much Grand loved them, and they know. Sorry, my camera cut off. But yeah, they know how much she loved them, and how sweet she was, because, you know, they grew up. At least 2 of them lived with her until we moved out. And then you know, my daughter always seen my grand and my grandma, their grand. My daughter always seen her and been around. It's really Carson who didn't get as much time as the others with her. I guess the next thing I can talk about in this segment is losing someone during COVID. Losing someone during COVID or during this pandemic was hard. So when she went into the hospital, this was like the first time that my grandma didn't have tons of visitors, that we weren't in her room around the clock until visitor hours were over. And that was just because of the fact that we couldn't. No one was allowed to visit for COVID. So when she was admitted into the hospital, she was suffering from dementia, first of all. So when I was talking to her on the phone, it didn't seem like she couldn't understand the fact that we couldn't come visit her because of COVID. Like, I don't think that was too much registering with her. And I pray to the Lord above that she knew that we loved her, and the only reason why she didn't have a ton of visitors in her room was because of COVID. Like, that is my prayer, that she knew that we loved her so much that she did not spend that week thinking that we didn't want to come see her. Sorry. Is my prayer. I pray to God that she did not spend that week in the hospital feeling like nobody wanted to be or see her, because we definitely did. I want to give a special shout out to the nurses who took care of my grandma while she was in the hospital, because they were awesome. Because we called around the clock. Like, we definitely called all the time. And my grandma was to the point where she didn't answer the phone. And I don't know if she didn't hear it or she just was too tired, because I don't know if anybody has dealt with anybody with dementia, but sometimes with dementia they don't eat. And my grandma stopped eating, and so she was super weak, and so she either wasn't able to answer the phone or didn't hear it or just was too tired to answer the phone. And the nurses, I will call the nurses station. I know this happened when I called. I'm pretty sure they did that when other people called, but when I called, I'd just be like, this is their granddaughter. They would literally say, okay, hold on, call the room, I'm gonna run back there and answer it. And they would run back to the back and answer the phone for her, so she can hear us and know that we were there and that we were thinking about her, and that just talking to her. And I just knew that every time I talked to my grandma, I would reiterate to her that the only reason why I'm not there is because we can't be there because of COVID. So after a week of her being in the hospital, a week and a half maybe. Yeah, because I want to say she went in right before Thanksgiving. Yeah, she went in right before Thanksgiving, so it was about a week. After the day after Thanksgiving, they put the feed in her, and then, you know, they were saying like she needs to come home, and they put her in hospice at home. So she came in the hospice home December 2nd. She came home that day, and I literally I beat myself up over this. Okay. I'm gonna get through this without crying. I'm gonna talk to y'all about this, and I'm gonna get through it without crying, okay? Oh my God. I literally beat myself up over this because of the fact that, okay, so I was so tired. Like, I get up at 5:30 in the morning every morning. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Wednesday, and I want to say like I had so much homework to be done that day, and I was trying to like get everything like turned in, and I was tired, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go tomorrow after work. Yeah, it was a Wednesday for sure. And I was like, I'm gonna just go tomorrow after work or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, cool, tomorrow after work. My auntie texted me, and she was like, grandma's here, you know, she's getting set up, FaceTime your mom so she can at least see her on FaceTime. And I'm like, okay. So I FaceTime my mom goes in there. I'm talking to my grandma. She's out of it, she's like asleep, but you know, I can see her. I'm talking to her, and I don't know if she heard me, but you know, whatever. So yeah, so anyways, I'm talking to her or whatever, and then I get off the phone, I go to sleep, I get ready to go to work. I wake up that morning, I just came back from walking the dogs, putting my lunch in my lunch pail and everything to that nature, getting ready to walk out, and it's 7:30. No, it was it's not 7:30, it was 7, maybe 7:10, 7 something. It was 7, because I know it was like 7. It was going on, no, it couldn't have been 7. I know I wasn't leaving that late. It had to be like 6 something, but it was going on 7. It was like 6:50. That's what it was. It was 6:50. Just came back from walking the dogs. It was 6:50. My auntie called, and she's like, Chanel, are you? And she's crying. And so no, she's not crying. Was she crying? I don't know if she was crying. I mean, I think I could hear it in her voice. I don't know if she was crying. I can't remember. But she was like, are you coming over after work? Or are you on your way to work? And I was like, no, I haven't left yet. And she was like, no, she asked me, are you coming over after work? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, are you driving? And I was like, no, I haven't left for work yet, I'm getting ready to leave. And she was like, I need to tell you something. And I just started to cry because I knew what she had to tell me. And she was like, Grandma passed away this morning, if you can just come over. I guess she wanted me to come over because, you know, later on they're gonna will the body, and she wanted, like, you know, giving me the chance to say goodbye. And I sat in that kitchen and I just cried. My son came out and held me. And me, my daughter, and my son was in the kitchen hugged up crying. And sorry about that. Yeah, anyways, I had to get myself together. But I went over there. She was still warm. I held her hand, talked to her, and I said my goodbyes. But I was so heartbroken that I didn't go over there the day before. And I think for me, that sat with me for a long time. Because, like, why didn't I just get up and go? Like, I should have just went. And that for me just showed me, like, I was like, okay, tomorrow. But tomorrow didn't come for my grandma. And I didn't get to, like, go sit with her and talk with her while she was still there to hear. And yeah, that kind of sits heavy on me a lot. But I know that she's in a better place. And yeah, I mean, when it first happened, it hurt. I cried, I was sad, I just low-key even probably felt like I was going through depression. But the more I talked about it, the more I got open with people, the better I felt. And the more I cried and let it out, the better I felt. Is what is helping me push through. Every day it gets a little easier. But there is not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about my grandma. There is not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about how I wish I could pick up the phone and call her. See how she doing. You know, hear her laugh a bit. Talk about the Laker game, because the Lakers was her favorite team. My grandma was Lakered out all the time, and so I wish that I could just have one day. I wish I could just have one day. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, one day maybe in heaven, maybe I will see her again. You know, clearly not over the situation. I'm clearly still going through it. I'm clearly still healing from it, and I want to say it's been 4 months. It's a day-by-day process, and for me, this is like the first major loss that I experienced, in my family. It's not, well, not really the first in my family, because my grandpa passed. That was a major loss. But I think I was young and I didn't really know how to process that. I mean, now that I'm old enough to process it and like really feel, like, wow. Grandma, I am going to miss you so much. I love you so much, Grandma. I just want to thank you for everything that you taught me. Just seeing how you move and the things that you did, and just how you care for people, and how you were a praying woman, and how, you know, you had so much strength. I mean, to be 94 and still walking up and down them stairs up until the time that you went into the hospital, I mean, and sweet, and just not a bitter person. Like, my grandma was not bitter. I know, like, you can meet some old people and they can be bitter, right? But my grandma was not bitter. She was very loving and very caring, and I've learned so much from her, and I think that's like the reason why I am the mother I am today. I've seen how much my grandma sacrificed for her kids, for me, for her grandkids, and yeah, she was just always so helpful, always wanted to help, and just such a loving person. And I am so lucky that I was able to be her granddaughter, that I was able to call her my grandma. And I'm so lucky for the time that we were able to share on this earth. She was with me for 35 years of my life. 35 years of my life. She was with me every step of the way. And she was an amazing person. And I am going to miss you so much, Grandma. I love you. I love you so much. And yeah, that is pretty much all I really have to say in this video. I really don't have anything else. I did this video because I don't know, maybe for healing for me. Talking about her, and I just wanted the world to know like how great of a person she was. And so I don't know, maybe someone out there needed to hear this. I hope that I'm not gonna do that right now. But I hope that this helped in some type of way for somebody else. And you know, anybody else going through a loss, or you know, feeling like have these type of, anybody else out there who's going through a loss, you know, if you have some advice, please drop it down in the comments below. Yeah, and I am, yeah, just I don't know what to say. I'm just so like but yeah, anybody who has gone through a loss, anybody who has any good advice for how I'm feeling, please leave a comment down below. Comment is appreciated. Like I said in my other videos, I love to interact with you guys. So yeah, drop that comment, hit that like button, subscribe, and until then I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for tuning in.